Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's see. I'm trying to get myself up here on my iPad. How is everyone? Getting ready for the weekend? The weekend is definitely upon us. All right, let's see. So I'm going to do readings for all of us. We're going to zip around the Zodiac from Aries all the way to Pisces and just kind of get a quick glance at what might be coming towards us for this upcoming weekend. Grateful, thankful for the messages for each and every one of you. We got the High Priestess showing herself as the magician on our thumbnail from the Shuffle Tarot. So, yeah, I feel like this weekend we could probably manifest whatever it is that we need to happen in our lives. So I like that card for us. So let's roll with that energy as a start for the weekend, all right? So, as always, please, people, do not forget to hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really helps my channel. And as always, you know, if you guys want to stick around at the end, you know, I'm happy to pull cards for all you guys. Welcome in, Perna. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well today. Perna is one of my regulars, so I'm always grateful and thankful to see you come in. All right, so let's see what's going on. We're gonna start with my Aries. Did we burn cedar? Let's burn some cedar. Let's burn some cedar here. All right, clear the energies. You can't burn too much. All right. Grateful, thankful for each and every one of you guys. All right, let's see what's going on for the weekend. I'm doing really, really well, Perna. I'm getting ready. I have a big weekend in front of me. Lots of people coming over, so good times ahead for my weekend. But let's check in with you guys and see what's going on. Welcome in, you guys. All right, let's start with my Aries, all right? And as always, I see some people are starting to pop in. Just keep in mind that I'm happy to pull cards at the end of the reading. All right, let's see what's going on for my Aries. Let's get these cards going and see what does the weekend look like for my Aries clan. So we got the Chariot coming in reverse. Car troubles. All right, my first thought for you guys. All right, we've got the Chariot coming in. I just think, you know, you could find yourself with a lot of distractions this weekend from doing what it is you're trying to get done. But overall, I see a very nice energy for you. You coming out as yourself here as of Cups. You know, so I like that because I feel you know, good times for this weekend. Like I said, I think the only hiccup is that there could be a lot of distractions. There could be things that get in the way. It could be just traveling could be hard, including some kind of car trouble, all right? So just be aware of that, all right, Aries? Welcome in, Serenity and Symphonies. Nice to see you, Job Hunt. Benjamin, yeah, I'll pull a card for you, but you'll have to wait till the end. I just started my reading, so if anybody feels the urge to timestamp, feel free to do that. But we're going to continue with my Taurus and get through all of the zodiac signs, and then I'll turn my attention to those in the chat, and we'll pull cards, all right? All right, let's see, Taurus, you've got the Tower coming in reversed, you know, so there could be some unexpected situations that could come up, or you could be avoiding something, all right? And it could be that you might be avoiding, you know, trying to figure out, you know, if you can get out of work. I'm just feeling as if, you know, there's some stress when it comes to money, Taurus, and it could be around work. When we have the Two of Pentacles coming in reverse, we can't pretend anymore, and we do have the Nine of Swords. So there is something that you are really concerned and worried about, and you may be avoiding having to deal with it. And I think this weekend, Taurus, you may have to, all right? So whatever that is, I think you just can't pretend anymore, and you'll feel better once you face the music and you deal with whatever it is that you have to deal with. All right, moving on to my Geminis. Let's see what your weekend looks like. We've got the Ace of Swords reversed, the Four of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Cups. All right, Ace of Swords. I feel like your weekend starts out maybe not the way you want it to. I feel as if, you know, you feel like, you know, you're not being heard. It's interesting with this, you know, but then we have the Four of Pentacles coming in reversed. I just feel like you may have to do something you don't really want to do. You know, the Ace of Swords, but, you know, because it's coming up reverse, I don't think you say anything, you know, because it's about standing in your truth. But I just feel like you give in to a situation, and even though it's not what you want to do, I feel as if you go ahead and you compromise. Gemini's, you know, which is not a bad thing, all right, Gemini. But I feel like, you know, you pull out the weekend, you know, maybe around somebody who is very, very, very kind. This could be your dad or grandpa. I just see an older figure in your weekend. And this person is really, really somebody special. So even though, you know, you may end up not doing what you want to do, I think it pulls out, and, you know, there's a nice part of the weekend that comes up for you, Gemini, especially around this king. All right, let's see what's going on for my Cancers for this upcoming weekend. We've got the Justice card. With that Justice card, I do see some arguing. So you could be arguing with some people around a situation. It could also actually be some legal matters that you have to attend to, but I do get that energy of arguing. All right, we have these two cats over here kind of fighting about what's right. You know, so there could be just this situation that, you know, you've got to kind of stand up for yourself. I do see that, you know, even though you are in a position right now, Cancer, to maybe spend a little bit of money, I feel like this weekend it says don't. All right, we've got the Seven of Pentacles followed by the Nine of Pentacles reversed. I just feel as if, you know, even though you would like to, you know, maybe possibly buy something, I just feel like you'll have buyer's remorse if you do. All right, so just be aware of that. Keep your hands in your pocket and, you know, think about it. If it's something you really, really want, you know, sleep on it and, you know, maybe go back and get it later on. All right, but I definitely feel like, you know, for you, Cancer. All right, moving on to my Leos. What does your weekend look like? Leo, we're starting out with the Ten of Pentacles. I like it. So I feel like, you know, you're feeling pretty fulfilled. Like everything you need, you have, you know, so I think you're going in feeling pretty good. I like that. But then we have the Page of Swords reversed and the Knight of Swords. I'm wondering whether or not there is somebody around you. You know, the Knight of Swords is a very passive-aggressive type of energy. And then I have the Page of Swords also coming in reverse. I wonder whether somebody really wants to say something to you and then they don't. But I definitely feel like they're kind of like stalking you and kind of feeling you out. So if you got the funny feeling that somebody has something to say, maybe you can initiate and say, do you have something to say? Because I feel like, you know, there is something going on that is not being dealt with this weekend. And, you know, it has to do with this Knight of Swords, you know, so this could be an air sign that you're dealing with. So this could be a Gemini, it could be a Libra, it could be Aquarius, doesn't have to be. But I just feel as if, you know, this person, their intentions aren't up to anything good. So go ahead and call them out on it, all right, Leo? And I think you'll feel better. All right, moving on to my Virgos. Virgo, we're starting out with you for the Moon card. Eight of Pentacles reversed to the Hierophant. Well, you definitely don't want to work this weekend, all right? That is not what you want to do, all right? You don't want to work. You don't want to practice. You don't want to have to do anything that you do on an everyday basis. I mean, really, that's what I'm feeling. For some of you, I feel like, Virgo, if you can find yourself in some kind of you know, workshop or a retreat or something like that. I mean, here we see these people having yoga, you know, and we get this Moon card. I just wonder whether or not, you know, you might have yourself on your own little vision. Because I'm just sensing that if you tap into your spirit this weekend, you will really feel fulfilled. So if you do have an opportunity to go away, maybe, you know, join some kind of a drumming or a circle of that kind of nature, you know, that's what you really want to do this weekend. You definitely don't want to work. All right, so that's what I've got for my Virgos. All right, welcome in, everyone. There's a bunch of you coming into the chat. I'm just going to stop here for a minute and remind you guys that as soon as I am finished with my readings here, I am happy to turn my attention to you guys in the chat room and pull cards for all of you. So, you know, I am on, who am I on? Virgo? Am I on Virgo? I just did Virgo. I'm on Libra, all right? So as I finish the rest of these, kind of formulate your questions, or maybe you just want a general reading, you know, just put them in there. And yeah, when I'm done, I will turn my attention to you guys. So don't forget to hit that like button, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm really trying to grow my channel. So that's how you can help me make that happen. All right, let's move on with Libra. Let's see what your weekend looks like. We see you going away. I mean, I think you're moving away from anything that's been really bothering you. We do have the Eight of Swords energy. So there's been some mental stuff that you've been dealing with. And I think this weekend you want to find a way to kind of check out of that. All right, we do have the Hanged Man over here, upside down. That can bring a little bit of confusion. You know, but I really see that, you know, you've got to be careful of your thoughts this weekend, especially if you're trying to get away from, you know, something that's been really bothering you. If you want to find an answer, all right, Libra, I think the best way you're going to find an answer is by going quiet rather than, you know, having all these stories in your head. So, I mean, it could be a quiet weekend for you. Maybe you need to have a quiet weekend, all right? Because that Eight of Swords says that whatever's going on mentally right now, it's starting to really affect you. So we've got to find our ground, and that's what the Hanged Man wants you to do, is to find perspective, to find your ground, you know, and to seek some inner wisdom within you, all right? So if you can, Libra, take some time away, you know, where you can really think things through, and I think you'll feel much, much better. All right, moving on to my Scorpios. All right, Scorpio, we have the Seven of Wands coming in reverse. Listen, if you don't speak up, there's not going to be any shifts or changes. I feel like there is a situation you are dealing with, all right? That if you don't say something, it could go the other way, all right? And we do have a King of Pentacles coming up here reverse. This could be your partner. This could be somebody you are involved with. This could be somebody you're dealing negotiations with. You've got to speak up, you know, because it's now or never. If you don't say something now, you know, you could screw yourself down the road. Whatever that means to a Scorpio out there this weekend, pay attention to it. If somebody is trying to get you to do something and you really don't want to do it, don't do it, all right? But you have to speak up, and I don't see you doing that, all right? Very uncharacteristic of you, Scorpio, so let's turn that around. You really need to stand your ground with someone this weekend, all right? All right. Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. Scorpio, Sagittarius. Let's see what's going on with you. We've got the King of Swords to the Eight of Wands reversed to the Five of Wands. You know, I feel like this weekend you are, you know, not going to respond, right? I feel like somebody says something, I get the word instigate, you know, or, you know, maybe they're trying to get you to do something, say something, I don't know. But when we have the King of Swords energy, like this could be somebody in authority that maybe you don't want to talk to, you don't want to deal with, you don't want to hear what they have to say. This person in authority, you know, they know what they're doing, you know, and they're pointing things out. You know, so I think if there is a situation that you are dealing with, you know, whether it's legal, whether it's with a boss, whether it's, you know, in school, with this Eight of Wands and the Five of Wands, I think you're going to pick your battles. I think you're going to, you know, really kind of go through what you really want to say to this person, what you don't want to say. You're not just going to, you know, take everything they say as, you know, word and, you know, in your response, I feel as if you are going to be very careful in responding to them. So you might be thinking about that most of the weekend. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Sagittarius. Capricorn. Capricorn. Five of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So the Five of Swords, all right, there could be some arguing going into the beginning of the weekend. A lot of times, you know, with this image especially, I feel like, you know, Capricorn, you know, you may want to do things your way. You know, that could cause problems, all right? I'm just saying. You might want to heed other people's, you know, thoughts and opinions and, you know, just to get along, all right? Because I do feel as if, you know, if you try to get everything your way, it could backfire. All right. Now we do see the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. You know, there is the potential of you getting some good news about, you know, maybe a job or a direction for a job or, you know, something that you would really love to do. So yeah, like, you know, pay attention to what's around there, because I do feel like you might actually have, you know, a choice come before you, and, you know, it would lead to something really good, because this Page of Wands would bring a message about an opportunity that you would be able to start in some venue that is something you would love to do. So yeah, there could be good news on the horizon for you, Capricorn. All right, let's see what else. Oh, we got our Aquarius. They're next. We have Aquarius and Pisces, and then it's your turn, you guys. All right, listen, Aquarius, we are starting with the Three of Cups coming in reversed to the High Priestess also reversed. I feel like there's a social situation that happens this weekend. and somebody is not happy, or maybe somebody's jealous, or somebody's not talking to someone else. I think intuitively you kind of know that there's something going down, all right? And you know, I feel like with this Three of Wands, you try to find solutions. So you could play the peacemaker this weekend, especially if you are going out with some of your friends or family. I just feel like this weekend you're going to be the one that tries to find, you know, the good, and maybe even turn the weekend around. So those that have not been very happy, or they don't like what's going on, somehow you, like I say, play the peacemaker and turn things around for the better for the weekend. So yeah, if anybody wants to hang out with an Aquarius, they're going to have a great weekend. So go hang with them. All right, last but not least, we've got my Pisces. All right, Pisces, listen, we are starting out with you with the Judgment card reversed, Six of Wands, and then the Lovers. All right, so, you know, we start out with the Judgment card. I think you realize that, you know, with some things, you've got to let it go, all right? I mean, I think this is you kind of seeing what you need, all right? And with the Judgment card coming in reverse, like things that don't work for you, I think you're starting to see things, you know, a little differently. Now, if it comes to a relationship, I feel like you get heard. All right. If there have been issues between you and your partner, I think they get resolved this weekend, because I do see you pulling out together. You know, so I'm just feeling like if we start in the weekend a little bit not so good between you and your person, I think by the end of the weekend, you know, things kind of get resolved, because I do see a beautiful outcome for my Pisces gang. You know, a lot of love in their weekend. Anyway, I do love that for you. All right, so yeah, that's what I've got for the weekend for all of our signs, from Aries all the way through to Pisces. So I hope they resonate with someone. As always, please just take what works and leave what doesn't. All right, you guys, how are we doing in the chat room? Grateful, thankful. I do see that there are some questions coming in. It's nice to see everyone. Who's that? Mata Prama, welcome. Steve Oman, or Q-Man. The time I joined is 11:11. Wow. All right, so that's great, Steve. Definitely a good opening for you. Serenity and Symphonies, always nice to see you. Terry, Barbara, GW75Q. And all you others that are in the chat. Listen, I'm at the point now where I'm going to start pulling cards for you guys. So if you'd like just a general reading, just put general, pull me a card. If there's a specific question, you want a yes or no answer, happy to do that. Sometimes I go a little bit more in depth, sometimes I don't. But I do love to pull cards for you guys. So let's start, all right? Let me clear the energies here, hit my bell, maybe get another deck. Let's do the spellcasters. Let's use the spellcasters. Burn a little cedar here for all of us. Clear the energies. And get ready. Have a good reading for you guys. So, blessings to you and to all of us, you know. I'm grateful, thankful for the messages that will come through for each and every one of us, always. All right, Prina, I'm going to start with you because she would love some angel guidance. And I got a lot of angel spirits around me. So we're going to start with you, Prina. All right, grateful, thankful for you for being a big part of my channel, always coming on. Welcome in, Moonlight 2222, Michael Ellis Sr. Sending back the same love and light to you, Michael. All right, let's see, Prina. Let's see, angel card for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for you, Perna. Six of Cups. All right, I feel this wonderful energy around you and your family. If you have kids, you know, or being around kids. This is just a wonderful energy of making memories, of having memories. It's just such a beautiful card, you know, and I feel like, you know, this is like for the weekend. You know, so I feel like if you are going to be around, you know, those people that you love, you're going to have a really great time. That's your angel message, Perna. That's nice, huh? Let's see, who else do we have? Job hunt. Job hunt, would you like a card? Let's see. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my friend Job Hunt. Grateful, thankful for Job Hunt. I'm grateful, thankful for all of you guys. All right, Job Hunt, let's see. One card for Job Hunt. Let's see what comes out. for a job hunt. Grateful, thankful for the messages for a job hunt. All right, you ready? Here it comes. All right, this one's for you. We have the Hierophant coming in. So I feel like you are aligning yourself with a higher purpose. Maybe you're getting married. If you're not getting married, I do find that you are finding some sort of spiritual alignment. You know, the Hierophant is like you being under the umbrella of something bigger, you know, and this could even be even corporate. So whether it's a job or it's actually something spiritual and religious, I do see yourself really aligning to that job hunt. So that's a great card for you. All right, let's see. Let's see if Mr. Steve Cuman, you're still around. I'll be happy to pull a card for you because you had such a magical entrance. Terry Wallace, do you feel like I'm going to do well with my social media channel? Well, let's find out, Terry. What can you tell me about Terry Wallace's social media channel? Is he going to do well? Is he going to do well? Is Terry going to do well with the social media channel? Tell me, tell me. You know, I have, you know, the Devil card coming in reversed. You know, so I feel as if that, you know, off the bat, you know, you are going up against an awful lot of competition. So how can you beat that competition? You know, because right now I don't see that, you know, there's a way for you to rise up above that. You know, Queen of Wands. You know, you may want to listen to the suggestions of some other people. Because I feel as if, you know, there may even be people who are trying to keep you from believing that you could have that, all right? So I would be very careful, you know, of who you share your social media channel with. You know, like myself, I grew my channel without anybody that I knew knowing that I was growing it. Like, nobody knew until after I grew it, you know, that I was here. And I feel like there is something or someone that may keep you from believing that you can rise above all of this competition. But, you know, you've just got to do it all. And it takes time. I do see that if you keep going with it, you may actually have success. But it's going to take some work, Terry. All right, Barbara Butler. Leo, so this is not for you. I don't know what that means. A Leo, so this is not for me. Okay, well, that's all right. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm good with that. PW75Q, do I have a job? Of course I have a job. I do this. This is my job. This is one of my jobs. I'm actually an artist. I'm a painter. That's what I really do. But I haven't painted in a while, so this has been my primary job. All right, KP, you want a general reading? Let's see what's going on for KP. A general card. Grateful, thankful for KP's energy. What can you tell me to tell KP? Grateful, thankful for the energies of KP. Welcome in, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help me out. Grow my channel. I'm trying real hard to make that happen. All right, let's see, KP. Your card is that of the sun. So I see a lot of bright and happiness for you, especially I feel like coming through the summer, all right? And this is a card of Leo, so maybe even by August. I'm wondering whether, KP, whether or not you are looking for a job to work from home. If you are, this card is very auspicious that that could really happen as well. And I think it would make you very happy if you could work from home. So definitely a bright energy for you, KP. I like it. Moonlight 2222 would like a general reading. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Moonlight. Yeah, go tell all your friends I'm on right now. They want a general reading. Have them come on by. You're welcome, KP. That was nice. It's nice to see the sun card come out. It's the most positive card in the tarot deck. So for that to come out is absolutely amazing. All right, Moonlight, this one's for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Moonlight 2222. All right, let's see. Moonlight, Tower. I feel like something unexpected is about to hit. Let's see what follows that. King of Wands. It could be around a man. You know, if you are seeing someone, you may learn something about them that really upsets you. Because when I see the King of Wands, I mean, this is my player guy. I mean, in the deck, this is somebody who is really charming, you know, but they're not faithful. They'll tell you anything you want to see. Great con artist is this one. So there could be something of that nature that's coming up. So, yeah, like I said, we started with that Tower card. Moonlight. So like out of nowhere, you know, you might meet someone like this, or you learn something about this person that you've already met. So that's what I've got for you, Moonlight. Let's see. Norma Martinez, welcome in. Oh, look, we got 1010. Welcome in, you guys. It's nice to have you all here, being a part of my channel. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe button. Subscribe button. Let's see what's going on. Norma Martinez. Hi, Crypto. Welcome in. Crypto Billy's here. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, let's see. Norma, general card for you. What can you tell me to tell Norma? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Norma. All right, Norma, we've got the Emperor coming in reversed and the Nine of Cups. All right, so I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's very difficult, very demanding. This is somebody who might have a lot of expectations from you, some that you can never fill. I mean, this is somebody who it's really hard to please. All right, but then we have the Nine of Cups coming in as well. This could be somebody that you really want to get together with, but I'm telling you that this is a very difficult energy. There's something around this Emperor that you are really wishing for, or wishing that something would happen with. You know, but the Two of Swords, I want you to be very clear with who you are dealing with. All right, Norma, because this Emperor, you know, once you get under their thumb, under their control, it's going to be really difficult for you to move. So be very, very clear about what it is you really want with this Emperor. All right, that's what I've got for you, Norma. Mamta, will you get married? I will be that person. Let's see. Hi, Happiness. Welcome in. Poker Smurf. Nice to see us. U.S. Punjab. Is that what it is? I don't know. All right, let's see. Crypto Billy, nice to see you. Let's see, who is next? Oh, that's right. Mamta, we're going to find out whether or not you're going to get married. And can you tell me anything about this person? Grateful, thankful. For Mamta. Oh, I do see you meeting someone. I mean, we have the Two of Cups, so yeah, I do see it, but, you know, be very careful. I don't feel like this first person that you meet is going to be the one that works out, because we do have the Wheel of Fortune coming out, you know. So, you know, the other thing is you could get married and the marriage may not work out. I just feel as if, you know, yes, you will get married. This person, I have to tell you, this person may have other people that he is interested in. So I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. But yes, marriage is in your future. All right. Let's see who else. Poker Smurf would very much like a general reading. So we're going to look at Poker Smurf. See what's going on. Grateful, thankful for Poker Smurf today. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Poker Smurf. Poker Smurf. Let's see, general card for Poker Smurf. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Poker Smurf. Let's see, we've got the Temperance card coming in reverse to the Six of Swords. So I feel like there's a situation you are dealing with where you are losing a lot of patience. I think it's been trouble here for quite a while with the Six of Swords. And the time is coming that you need to figure out a way to move away from this energy. The next card we have is the Knight of Swords coming in reverse. You know, like I said, I feel as if you are coming. I know they're upside down, you know, but I feel as if you are losing patience, you know, but you are at a point where if you don't deal with it, because Knight of Swords is being very passive and not really actually going after it, you've got to start, you know, facing whatever this trouble is in order for you to deal with it. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Pokerman, Poker Smurf. All right, let's see who else is here. We've got Happiness. Please tell how will be my future husband. Any sign which I could guess, so that no cheating. All right, let's find out, Happiness. All right, Poker Smurf. Poker Smurf. I read for you. On to Happiness. All right, let's find out. Future husband for Happiness. Grateful, thankful. This one wants to be happy. U.S. Punjabi. You have a lot to say. All right, I'll read for you too. But first, let me get a card out for happiness. All right, happiness. Look, I do see you getting married. Look, we have the Hierophant. That's the marriage card. I like that. You know, but, you know, you may be, this person who you are marrying may be tied up at first. Because, you know, here we see that he is really tied to both wanting to marry you and maybe a situation. So, you know, that might be a hint as to whether or not this is your person, that they're not readily available when you first meet them. But I definitely see you getting married. Yeah, 10 of Cups. You know, things do turn. I do think that, you know, he makes a decision to go in your direction. So it's nice to see that there is someone in your future. All right. Let's see. Let's go to my U.S. Punjabi. Let's find out what's going on with you. Grateful, thankful for your energy, U.S. Let's see what's coming through for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for you, U.S. Punjabi. All right, let's see what's coming up. Let's see what card comes out for you. Are you ready, U.S.? We're going to check it out. All right, we got the Emperor coming in reverse. So you, like someone else, there is someone that you are dealing with that could really hurt you. All right, the Emperor coming in reverse. And when I say hurt you, it could be through heartache or disappointment or something. But that Emperor coming in, you know, very selfish person. You know, their intentions are not around you. They are around them. So I do see that there could be a third person involved, you know. So, you know, it won't be just you and him if you are involved in this relationship. So that's what I've got for you, U.S. Punjabi. All right, be careful of that Emperor energy coming in reverse, because this is somebody who's very controlling and it's really hard and difficult to get away from. But I do see that there is some heartbreak on the horizon for you. All right, let's see. Who's next? Dionate. Is that how you say it? I'm not sure if that's how you say the name. You are married, U.S. Punjabi. Well, you might be married to that Emperor. Anyway, I do see heartbreak. Any messages? Sandia, is that how we say it? Sandia. Let's see if there's any messages from Rohit. I've had no contact. All right, let's see. No contact with Rohit. Let's find out. Sandia. You know, I think you're really hoping for for something to happen for a reunion of love. I think it might be on their mind as well. You know, so there is a possibility of a reunion. What's at the bottom of the deck? You know, I just don't see it really happening. You know, this could be you really wanting this to happen, but at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords and it's reversed. So I just don't feel like it's really going to ever happen. You know, but there is that hope that you want, but that's kind of telling me no. I think it's just going to remain no contact. Dionate, Murph. Okay, just call you Murph. Let's see. A Mystic Tarot Guide, welcome in. Neon Patriarch, nice to have you here too. All right. Dion, let's read for you, all right? Grateful, thankful for the messages. For Dion, what can you tell me to tell Dion? Grateful, thankful. I hope everybody's doing good. It's a nice day out, not very hot. I think there was a heat wave we had, and then it rained, and now it's not been hot. So anyway, it's a nice day over here where I am. I hope it's nice where you are. All right, Dion, you ready? Your card is that of the Chariot. So I see you traveling or going on a trip or actually making a big move, right? When we have the Chariot card, I mean, it could indicate travel. It could be you even wanting to get a new car. But when we have the Chariot, I feel as if, you know, there is a direction you want to take and, you know, you want to head on it. The only thing you have to be careful with the Chariot, Dion, is that, you know, distractions could keep you from the direction you really want to go in. So don't let anything distract you from your ultimate goal. But yeah, if you are traveling, travel safe. Have a good time. All right, let's see who else is out here. Mystic Tarot. Okay, listen, I don't know what this means. So I'm not going to pull a card on you. Neon. Hi, welcome in, Neon. Nice to have you here. Grateful, thankful. All right, general for a career for you, Neon. Let's find out. Grateful, thankful for Neon's energy. Neon needs a career reading. Hi, Ashmit. Welcome in. I'm reading for Neon right now. We're doing a career reading. Grateful, thankful. Messages for Neon. Grateful, thankful. Let's see, all right, Neon, let's find out what's going on with your career. All right, we've got the Four of Wands coming in reversed to the Seven of Wands. So I'm just wondering whether there's something that you were really wanting to come through, and I just feel like the door is closed and you're not going to get it, whether this is a job or a promotion. And then I see you looking ahead to see what you can do, you know, but the Seven of Wands is also a card of being, your own advocate. But I just feel as if, whatever the situation is that comes through, that you don't get, I think it really, you're not disappointed. You're just going to look for another opportunity. King of Pentacles. I think you're going to look until you can, until you find something. The only thing that you need to be careful of, Neon, is that you don't get involved with somebody who could be a little shady, all right, in your pursuit of trying to find what's next. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Neon Patriarch. Ashmit, welcome in. Yes, it's been a while, but it's really nice to see you. All right, let's see. You would like to know, will you get selected for the job at Soul Lead Solutions Company? My interview is tomorrow. Oh my gosh, lots of good vibes for you for this interview, Ashmit. Let's find out how you're going to do. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Ashmit. Good friend coming back to see me, cheer me on, be a part of my channel. Let's see, what can you tell me about Ashmit in this interview? All right, let's see. You ready? Here it comes. Four of Cups. All right, so I feel as if there's indecision. And it's almost as if there is no decision right away. So you may not hear right away about this interview. And then we have the Nine of Wands in the World. All right, so it wouldn't surprise me if quite possibly you do not get this job, because here I do see you being very, very guarded, but I don't feel like it's over. You may not get this position, you may get a different position, and I think you might have to really think about whether or not you want that option, because here we see you contemplating whether or not you want this cup. And you're guarded. I mean, Nine of Wands, so I feel like you don't get the one that you want and they offer you something else. And you've just got to decide whether or not that's what you really want. All right, that's what I've got for you, Ashmit. Who else is in here? Hola, welcome. From Nigeria, welcome in. Nice to have you in. Are you new, Hola? If you'd like, I'd be happy to pull a card. Because if not, I think... Ashmit is amazing, everyone. Oh, good. See, you've got a lot of support, Ashmit. You understand? I got to be honest with how I read the cards. I'd love to say, yes, you got the job. But I didn't see that. All right, let's see. Anybody else out there? Because if not, I'm going to move on my merry way and begin my day, my weekend, my afternoon. But it has been really, really great to be here with all of you. Really thankful. Let's see. U.S. Punjabi, you have 4,000 subs. Oh, good for you. Keep going. Hi, Joseph. Will you be famous? I don't know if you'll be famous, but, I think you can continue to grow your channel. You're definitely on the right direction if you have 4,000 subs. Oh, Happiness, you're still there? Okay. See, just as I leave, another question comes up. All right, Happiness, let's find out about your career real quick, all right? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Happiness. Would just like to know quickly around the career. All right, real quick, Happiness. Let's see what cards come out around your career. Chariot, I feel like there's a hold or a block or something's blocking you from, you know, advancing in your career. So you might want to look at what is it that's distracting you and keeping you from the direction you really want to go in. So I do feel like, you know, happiness, you need to assert yourself and really kind of find the road you want to go on and go down. Because right now I'm sensing a block, you know, and it's just not happening. Yeah, and then we have the Four of Wands, you know. Maybe the road that you have chosen isn't your road, you know. So let's go fishing and see if we can find something better for your career happiness, all right? Ola. All right, Ola, I'm going to pull a card for you because you're new. I like to take care of the new people because I was new once too, you know. Oh, you subscribed, US. Thank you. Thanks, US. I appreciate you. All right, Ola, let's find a card for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Ola. All right, Ola, I've got the Queen of Pentacles coming out for you. So I feel like, you know, there's this sense of having everything you need, all right? And in your older age, Ola, what I do see is that you will be okay and you'll have a lot of stability. I like this card of the Queen of Pentacles. Sometimes it can come out as like the partner card, you know? So I think you're a good partner. But I like the energy of the Queen of Pentacles because I think you can relax. Everything is always taken care of. And I think, you know, people can count on you as well, Ola. So I like this energy for you. All right, that's what I've got for you. Swati would like some angel guidance. I'm going to go ahead and go for that. Thanks to happiness. Louise Gilbert, hi, I'm glad to see you. You kind of snuck in there. All right, let's see. Swati, let's pull an angel card for you. I was going to leave, but now you guys are coming in, so I'm going to stick around a little bit. All right, Swati, let's get a card for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Swati. Hit that like button, people. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It makes a difference. All right, Swati, I see the card of the star. So a lot of hope. All right, if there's been something you've been really needing, you've been really wanting, here we have this card of the star, you know. So whatever it is that you've been wishing for, wish upon a star, Swati, I feel as if, you know, it is going to come through. So this is a beautiful omen, you know, to just remain really positive, hopeful. Everything is going to be really just fine. Hey, Joseph. Thanks for the super chat. Welcome. Welcome in. Yeah, I'd be happy to pull a card for you. But I am going to first go back to Louise Gilbert. And then I'm going to jump down to you. All right, Joseph? So hang in there. I'll be right with you. But I sure appreciate the super chat. All right, let's see. Louise Gilbert. Will the issue with your research get resolved? You're welcome, Swati. That was a good card, huh? All right, let's see, Louise, will this issue with your research get resolved? Grateful, thankful for this issue of the research to get resolved. You know, I feel as if, you know, I've got two messages, all right, Louise? I feel like, yes, it can get resolved, but aside from that, I also feel you kind of branching off. You know, kind of taking it and running with it and going down your own road and your own path. Because I saw the Hierophant reversed as I was shuffling and it kind of caught my attention. I was like, wow, you know, this is you not conforming and kind of, you know, running with it, you know, and kind of grabbing a hold of it. So yes, I do see resolution, but I also see that you may branch out in another direction. Anyway. Good reading no matter what, Louise. All right, Joseph Harris. My friend gave me a super chat. Really grateful for the super chat. I really appreciate that. I really do. More than you will ever imagine, you know. I'm a private little girl, you know, doesn't have a lot of money, and I really appreciate the support. All right, let's see what's going on for you, Joseph Harris. Grateful, thankful for his kindness, his generosity, his spirit. What messages can you tell me for Joseph Harris at this time? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Joseph Harris. All right, Joseph, here we go. We've got the Hierophant coming in reverse to the Ace of Cups to the Page of Pentacles reverse. All right, now the Ace of Cups is also reversed. So there could be a situation, a relationship that you are dealing with. I just feel like it doesn't have the glue to continue. All right, when we have the Hierophant coming in reverse, I just was talking about it. This is, you know, usually indicates that, you know, somebody doesn't want to be committed or married. You know, it's just you want to do your own thing and be your own person. And with the Ace of Cups coming in alongside it, and it is reversed, I just feel like there's just not enough there to make a commitment. And then we have the Page of Pentacles also coming in reversed. You know, I just feel like it's not time, you know, to start anything new with someone or something. It could even be a business venture that you are looking at. With that Page of Pentacles coming in, Joseph, I just feel like it's reversed. It's not like, I keep getting it's like not the right time. Because the Page of Pentacles delivers a message of something new that you want to start. And with it coming in reverse, I'm just not feeling it. And with that Hierophant also reversed, you know, I think it's time for you to just kind of be on your own, doing your own thing, you know, and being very autonomous. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Joseph. I hope that resonates. All right, you were happy to hear this, so that's good. And thank you again very much for that super chat. It's always nice when the tarot reader gets tipped. All right, Mandy, how are you? Could I take up tarot reading? Thank you. Absolutely. Of course you can. You know, just go get a deck, get the Rider-Waite, start with the traditional one. You know, because once you know the traditional tarot, you can apply that and all the other tarot decks that have all these other artworks and things that have different meanings, you know, but definitely read some good books. There's some really great ones. I think one is 360 Degrees of Wisdom or something like that. That's a really good one. You know, and yeah, just like me, I just followed my favorite tarot readers and took notes and just really learned the tarot. So do it. All right, Mandy? Schmidt. Who else is out there? Anybody new? I've already read for people. I just try to always hit up with the new people first. Aditi will, I don't know how to say that, patch up with you. Let's find out whether there'll be a patch up. Grateful, thankful. Hi, Brandy. Welcome in. You'd like a reading too? Put your question in, whether it's general or not. Oh, thanks, Aditi. Thanks for the subscription. He was just watching. It's nice to have you in the chat. All right, let's see, Aditi. Let's find out whether or not there will be a makeup here. Let's see. Grateful, thankful for Aditi. No, I don't see like this is going to, you know, here we have you moving on, all right, the Three of Swords. And whenever I get it upside down, to me, that's a no, all right? So I don't see you guys reuniting. I see what it needs to happen now is the healing, all right? The need to pull these swords out and to move on. So that's what I feel is coming with you and this person. Brandy, I'm going to pull a card for you. Grateful, thankful for my new friend, Brandy Chambers, here in the chat, was just watching. So let me have a card for Brandy. Grateful, thankful. You're welcome. You're welcome, Aditi. Time to heal. All right, really important. All right, let's see what's going on for Brandy. My new person. Thanks for subscribing, you guys. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, sending the super chats. I mean, I just really appreciate all of you. And this is really my favorite thing to do, believe it or not. I love pulling cards for people. More so than just the generals, you know, because we can get specific. All right, let's see, Brandy, what's coming up for you? This card wanted to stay out. King of Swords. Be careful of someone who, you know, could be a little mean. They could be very sharp with their words. They can feel like they know it and you don't, you know. Just be very, very careful about that, right? You know, Brandy, because the King of Swords, you know, they could be very difficult and they can make your life very difficult. Let's pull another card for you. Page of Cups. This might be somebody you just met. Listen, if you got that feeling that this isn't going to work out, run, because I don't see it working out either. All right. All right, so that's what I got for you, Brandy. Mystic Tarot Guide. Welcome in. Another tarot reader. Nice to have you in the house. All right, true feelings for, I don't know, A's true feelings for M. That's what I'm going to go with, Mystic, all right? Because I can't say the names. Follow your intuition. Absolutely, Brandy. Especially you. Hi, Shauna. Welcome in. We are reading for Mystic Tarot Guide. We're going to find out A's true feelings for M. Let's find out. A's true feelings for M. All right, listen, you know, I like it because this is the Queen of Pentacles. So true feelings are like, I could see myself marrying this person. I could see this person being the mother of my child. I can see this person growing old with them. It's a beautiful energy. So I like this feeling that A has for M because, you know, it really is one of these that I feel has a lot of longevity. Very grounded energy between those two. I like it. I like it very much. That's what I got for you, Mystic. All right, let's see. Anyone else? Or have we reached the end? Shauna, you're the last one in the chat. Welcome in. Nice to have you here. Nice to have all you people here. If there's no one else, I'm going to pop off. But now's your chance. It's now or never. Yes, Shauna, you can ask a question. You are partners? Ooh, that's a nice partnership, Mystic. All right, Shauna, let's find out. Shauna has a question. Moving forward. You're back, or you're still here. I don't know. All right, Shauna, let's find out. You have a question. I don't know what the question is. So, is Ben your soulmate? Let's find out, Shauna. Is Ben your soulmate? Grateful, thankful for Shauna's vibe or energy. Let's find out whether or not Ben is Shauna's soulmate. You know, I feel as if, yes, you know, this is your soulmate, but I also feel like something very unexpected could come up between you and him. All right, Six of Wands coming in reversed. You know, I want to say this about soulmates. We have a lot of soulmates. You know, whether or not this is your forever person, I'm going to say no, all right? Because I just feel as if there's something out of nowhere that comes up that brings a lot of disappointment, and I just don't see this being a forever long haul kind of connection. So that's what I've got for you, Shauna. All right? So that's what I've got. All right? So anyone else? Oh, wait, we had moving forward. Wants to know when they're going to remarry. Mandy. Are you allowed a general card? Of course you are. You're allowed to do anything you want. All right, let's see, moving forward. Let's find out first whether or not you will remarry. Grateful, thankful for the messages for moving forward. You know, I don't see you remarrying, at least not right now, because I think there's a lot to it that makes you think twice. So I don't see remarriage for you moving forward. And again, Page of Swords, it's coming up reversed. So I just feel as if, you know, it's going to take something very special or someone very special for that to happen with you. But no, I don't see that happening moving forward. But I'm just a tarot reader, all right? So keep that in mind as well. All right, Mandy. One last card. Oh, Schmidt also has one. All right, Mandy, let's get a general card for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages from Mandy. Can you tell me from Mandy, general card? We have the Magician coming in reversed. So, you know, this is about manifestation, Mandy. All right? When we have it coming up reversed, sometimes when we want things, we try to make them happen before it's time. So we have to be careful with, you know, the manipulative type of energy. This could be somebody trying to manipulate you. This could be you trying to manipulate energy for it to happen. And I just feel like, you know, you've got to pull back, all right? Because we can't make things happen that don't want to be. And I just feel like there could be a little of that coming up for you, all right, Mandy? So that's what I've got for you. Schmidt. What are you made for? What job is for you? Like, when would I get it? And what field? You're worried? Some direction? Do you need some direction, Schmidt? What did you love to do when you were a kid? That's a good place to start. Really. A very good place to start. Because when we were kids, we did things that we loved to do. That's a good place for you to figure out, maybe, you know, I want to be an artist. Maybe I want to be a doctor. But here we have the Hermit. It's asking you to go sit with yourself and to really figure it out. A lot of times, you know, with the Hermit, you know, if I was looking at the Hermit as a profession, I'd say that, you know, you probably have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of good things to share with people. You know, maybe experiences, maybe stories. But here, this Hermit coming in reverse is really encouraging you, Schmidt, to take the time to sit with yourself and to really tune into what it is you want to do. But I think you would be very good. All right, who else is out there? Making potions was yours. I love it. Maybe you should still make some potions, Shauna. You know, I love a good potion. You know, I have a friend of mine, she does a lot of herbal stuff, and she has this one that she uses for Christmas. And it's about, you know, cheer, something about Merry Cheer or whatever. It's the weirdest thing, but you know, people use that year round just because it really does cheer you up. So I'm all about the potions. So Shauna, make some potions. All right, listen, you guys, I'm really going to pop off now. It is 12 noon here in my part of the world. Anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. Thank you again for the super chat. Thank you again for your support, your energy, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, all of that. Really appreciate you. And I will see you here again at another reading. I'll be here maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. You know, but anyway, subscribe and you'll find out. All right. So anyway, have a great weekend, everyone. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Bye now.